This is Matt Coyne, host of The Cheap Seats. Thank you for listening to the following broadcast here on Public House Media.
Do you need some extra motivation in your life? Are you looking to be inspired? If so, then look no further than the Good God Company.
At the Good God Company, their mission is to create and clothe all loving humans with their unique, inspiring, and beautifully designed t-shirts.
All of the products from the Good God Company are equally designed to motivate you and improve your life. From their mugs, workout tanks, to eye-appealing shirts and sweatshirts.
Learn more about their renowned products by visiting thegoodgodcompany.com. That's thegoodgodcompany.com.
The Good God Company is proud to support Public House Media. The Good God Company. I'm feeling good.
This is Sam Kirby, host of Cinema Stories here on Public House Media. Thank you for tuning into the following broadcast here on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Cinema Stories, where we talk about movie and TV news and reviews, and maybe, just maybe, we'll learn a little something about ourselves. If not, then maybe I made you laugh a couple of times. I don't know. New episodes air bi-weekly on Tuesdays. Thanks again for checking out the totally spectacular following broadcast here on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys!
Coffee with Keith.
And Katie on Public House Media.
Brought to you by
The Good God Company.
Check them out at thegoodgodcompany.com and check out Public House Media at thephmedia.com.
Just a sample of what you can get.
See that? That's an official Coffee with Keith and Katie mug.
Isn't that awesome?
Right there. We got our names on coffee mugs.
Yes.
Greg, thank you for joining
Hi, Greg.
us. If, Greg, since you can't see what we're doing right now, holding up the Public House Media official Coffee with Keith and Katie coffee mug. So,
They're amazing.
boom. There it is. I'm going to take a sip out of it.
Mm-hmm. We have iced coffee today because it's 95 degrees outside.
Makes the coffee taste better. And when you're on Public House Media checking out all of our cool stuff, there's David too.
Hey, David.
Greg and David with the Greg and Dave Show. I'm going to say check out their show, the Greg and Dave Show, with the Greg and Dave Show. So,
And Mrs. Bale.
And Mrs. Bale. We never see Mrs. Bale, but
Could you guys mention the Public House Media
so close
is...
to 1,000 likes on our page. Yeah.
I would like to get there tonight.
Let's get to 1,000 likes on the Public House Media page. Let's do it. 1,000 likes.
If
Let's
you
get
are
there.
watching this video, as soon as you're done, go to Public House Media. Like it.
Like it. Boom.
It's awesome.
It's that one.
Then you'll
It's the thumbs up
always
one.
know that we're on.
Yep. It's true. I mean, you'll never miss an update on Coffee with Keith and Katie, the Greg and Dave Show, The Cheap Seats, which is also a show that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Check out new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm on the Wednesday show. Obviously, the best show is the Wednesday show because I'm on it. No, they're all great shows with a bunch of different hosts. So
A lot of great different shows.
yeah, so check them all out. Anyways, this episode of Coffee with Keith and Katie is called Watch Where You're Going.
Yeah.
And we got on the subject because it was actually whose idea was it to have this topic on the show? I think it was Katie's dad.
Yes, I called my dad for Father's Day, and he asked what our show was going to be about, and I said I have no idea. Do you have any suggestions? And I was driving to work, and we heard all the horns honking. He said, well, why don't you talk about traffic in Chicago?
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. David says, of course you don't see Mrs. Bale, it's an audio podcast. Well, I want to know what she sounds like. David.
Yes.
Come
If
on.
we can't know what she looks like. We'd like to know what she sounds like.
All you do is yell at Mrs. Bale, and I really think she's probably a good person. You know, at least she means well.
Greg says, Mrs. Bale is missing in action, by the way. If anyone finds her, let us know. She just disappeared one day. I think Dave Show is being too hard on her.
I think he is. I agree.
Dave Show, unbelievable.
Yeah. Really hard guy to deal with, I heard. Anyway.
I've heard.
So, we're on the topic of traffic, especially in Chicago. Katie and I, we try to walk a lot of places because obviously
we take the train or the bus. It's not worth driving. And even if the driving is okay, the parking's stupid.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay to park your car somewhere.
No, parking is nuts.
And then even if you do find a place to park, if I'm the one driving, there has to be space for like a car and a half.
So she can parallel
so
park
I can
it.
parallel park it.
I'm pretty good at parallel parking.
You are very good at it.
I can fit the car into pretty tight spaces, so that's all right with me. But we've been lucky enough where we've lived in 2 apartments since we've moved to Chicago, and both of which have free parking on the street. Mm-hmm. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal to a lot of you. That didn't sound like a big deal to us at first because Katie and I grew up. There was parking in it. You could park anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's free parking everywhere.
Yeah.
There's free parking nowhere in Chicago.
No.
But we've been lucky enough to find it on our streets that we live near. So, anyways, we don't try to drive. We try to walk a lot, but that does not mean
it does not keep you safe from traffic.
That does not keep you safe from traffic in Chicago. Katie, this could happen anywhere, but she is short. So when it snows,
I'm a small person.
There are tall snowbanks from the plows.
The snowbanks get all pushed up at intersections, and there aren't crossing lights, at every intersection. Sometimes you just have to hopefully a car sees you and stops so you can cross. And it's very hard for them to see me behind snowbanks. So I kind of just have to jump out and hope that, because I can't see them either over the snowbank. Neither of us can see each other coming.
So you just gotta jump out.
I just gotta jump out.
Hope you don't get hit.
Hopefully it's not too slippery, the brakes are working. It's dangerous. But
you should get an orange flag, stick it out in front of traffic, and just kind of go like that. Like
tomahawk. People in Chicago don't stop for stop signs. How are they going to stop for an orange flag?
On the topic of not stopping for stop signs.
Hold on. First, 3,000 people get hit every year by cars in Chicago. 3,000 people.
In Chicago, 3,000 people.
3,000 people.
That's like 7 people a day or something like that.
We don't know math. Keith made it 3,001.
3,001 because I didn't report when I got hit by a car as a pedestrian. Yep. Greg, first of all, says, this is why everyone should just live in Waukesha. No parking problems whatsoever.
Wink, wink.
I always can find parking spot downtown. No traffic problems because there are no funky intersections.
No funky intersections in Waukesha. Yep.
Greg.
Built on a river. No funky intersections there, Greg.
Greg's talking like we don't know Waukesha. We know Waukesha.
We know
Greg.
These things. We went to
but no parking problems. Maybe there's no parking problems in Waukesha, but parking problems on Carroll University's campus.
There's problems.
Plenty of them.
Isaac says, I'm here. What did I miss?
Isaac, we're talking about traffic in Chicago and how even when you're not driving, you're still in danger of getting hit.
So tell them how you became a statistic.
I became a statistic. Number 3,001
Yep.
people hit in Chicago by cars. I was hit by a car while I was on foot. Luckily, this was at an intersection which was in a residential neighborhood, and no car was going faster than 25 miles per hour. However, I was walking back to our apartment, and I had coffee and donut. I remember this so clearly. I was walking back from Dunkin' Donuts. I decided to get coffee and donuts in the morning, and I was walking down the street, and I do the whole, look both ways, walk, and I see a car down the street coming, but it's like, all right, they got a stop sign, and they slowed down. I could tell they started to slow down. I'm like, okay, they see me, they're going to stop, I'm just going to keep walking. So I just kept walking, coffee and donuts in hand, and I see out of the corner of my eye, like right here, that this person is not stopping once they get to the stop and go light. And I said, and I had my coffee in this, I said, stop! And I and they were going slow enough, but they definitely didn't stop. It was in a Prius, so it has this sleek, not like a hard front, not like a hard square front, kind of like rolls up, Yeah. So the front bumper caught me, and I was able to kind of just do like a little bit of a spin move. The car caught me right here, and I just kind of did a spin move away. I didn't fall down.
Did you spill the coffee?
I did not spill the coffee.
Oh.
That's the big thing. I did not spill the coffee, but I definitely got hit. Got sideswiped a little bit. I didn't even have a bruise really, but the car definitely hit me. And I was upset. Understandably.
Well, you just got hit by a car.
I'd gotten hit by a car, not like hit by a car, but I definitely got clipped by a car on foot. I was rattled, so I said some things that I shouldn't have said.
Oh.
And the car didn't stop. The car just keeps on going.
Hit and run,
right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even deal with this anymore. I'm fine. I have my coffee. I have my donuts still. I'm just going to keep walking. And this woman, she must have finally understood what she had done. But I was seeing red. I was too upset to have any sort of conversation. So I just kept walking. David Isaac says, "You're lucky it was a Prius. If it was a real car, you would have spilled the coffee." Was the Prius totaled?
That's good. First, Isaac says, "I was just in Chicago this weekend. Why didn't you come see us?"
Where were you in Chicago, Isaac?
Yeah, where were you? Greg says...
Oh, he's mentioned a bunch of people. Driving in Chicago. Would you rather walk? What did you guys think? Yeah, I'd rather walk. Of course
I'd rather walk. I'd rather take the train. The bus is for scary people. Because the bus is still in traffic. The bus still has to deal with traffic. And so even though the bus should come every 8 to 15 minutes, it's traffic. It's not like the train. It can just go when it wants to.
Allstate Arena. Okay, you were in Allstate Arena. You were in don't tell me, Rosemont. You were in Rosemont by Allstate Arena. But yeah, so that's my story. To finish it, the woman finally realized what she had done. She must have circled around a couple of neighborhoods to find me, and she did find me. It was this older woman, and her face was red, and you could tell she had just been completely bawling her eyes out. And she said that she had just put on the brakes, she didn't see me, and she was on her phone, and she thought she was just going to roll through the stop sign. And so she's lucky another car wasn't coming, But hey, maybe she would have realized she would have hit me before she hit a car. Anyways,
yes. But there was a time our car is my aunt's old car. It's a 2001, so it's really old.
It is old.
We just turned over 265,000 miles.
I don't know how much longer it's got.
I won't talk about it. Anyway, there was something so wrong with it, we left it with my parents in Wisconsin for them to take to their mechanic. And so we got their Prius and brought it down here.
That's right.
We managed to have their Prius parked on a city street in Chicago for like a month.
Not a month.
A while.
About 2 weeks.
Sure, let's say 2 weeks.
I think it was about 2 weeks.
It was fine. And we drove back through Chicago traffic to Wisconsin. Car was just fine. My parents hit a deer with our car while we kept their baby safe in the city of Chicago.
Yeah. The car required so much work. Her parents obviously have more than one car. We don't. So her parents were able to let us borrow their car when they took our car to a mechanic for extensive work. And they hit a deer when it was in there. It really wasn't bad. The dent is still there.
The dent is still
because, the deer is not, however.
Right. So that's just always interesting to me.
Yeah.
Although I don't say why we hit deer, because most people, I don't think, go aiming for deer. The deer hits you.
The deer really does hit you.
Yeah. I'm sure there are some crazy people who aim for deer. It's entirely possible. Greg, I've never driven a Prius.
Greg, real question. Have you ever drove?
Have you ever driven a car, Greg?
Have you
ever driven...
Have you ever gotten behind the wheel of a motor vehicle?
Yeah.
It's a serious question.
Is it a serious question?
It's possible I don't know. Greg, let us know.
Tell us what's going on.
Yeah. So that's my big story about actually getting hit by a car.
Yep.
I was fine. I told the lady to forget about it and
forget about it.
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about
and
it.
move about her day, and that's all that ever happened to it. So
I came home from a really bad day of work, and he said, the good news is I'm fine. The bad news is I got hit by a car. And I'm like, great, let's get a settlement, something. Please don't make me go back to work tomorrow. I can't do this anymore. Could you get hurt just a little bit so I don't have to go back?
In retrospect, like after I got hit by the car, I should have looked for a second, and then I should have just like thrown my cup of coffee and just, oh my god. But it was a Prius. If it was like a Rolls Royce or something, I totally would have done it.
No, you wouldn't. You're not that guy.
I know, but sometimes it'd be nice to be that guy, because then we probably
then I wouldn't have had to go to that terrible
we still
job.
wouldn't be working if it was the right car and if I would have gotten hurt enough.
Greg says, I've driven a stick shift though.
Nice.
On one
occasion.
On one occasion.
Nice.
Isaac,
I've never driven a stick.
Isaac said, I'm happy you weren't murdered by an old lady. Me too.
Thanks, Isaac. Yeah, me too.
My neck, my back, my neck and my
back. Isaac, I love the reference, and I'm going to let you know what that is so you don't go unnoticed. That is from Friday. My neck, my back, my neck. I'm suing y'all for $50,000, but I'll settle out of court right now for $20. Great quote, Isaac. Anyways, Greg says, when I drove, I definitely smelled burning rubber and heard the tires squeal a little bit. I only drove about 20 or 30 feet. That's cool, though. I like that. I've never been behind a stick. I've never learned how to drive one.
I think it'd be fun.
But as Greg has let us know your driving stories.
Yeah.
What have you had any adventures behind the wheel? Bad traffic's up. I was in San Francisco this past weekend. Traffic is terrible in San Francisco. It is terrible in San Francisco.
What do you mean terrible? Like, are the drivers bad?
It's just
there's just a lot of traffic.
There's just a lot of traffic. Bad traffic is like a lot of traffic in San Francisco. Yeah.
See, my theory in Chicago...
And I don't think they're great drivers either in California. Maybe that's just me, but...
My theory about Chicago drivers, they're terrible. Illinois drivers are terrible.
We're from Wisconsin, so of course
we're amazing drivers. My theory is that they take public transportation all their lives. So they're not riding with mom and dad on a daily basis learning how to drive, but watching. So let's take the train for 16 years and then, let's put you in a vehicle. Go!
It's a fair point.
I think that's what happens.
Okay.
It's the only logical explanation.
But there are a lot of transplant drivers in Chicago that are from different cities and different states. Like, people would say we're Chicago drive, but I mean, you're criticizing them right now.
Yep.
I'm definitely a less patient driver in other areas than I used to be because I drive in Chicago now.
Oh yeah, I'm terrible.
Because you can just like weave all around. You see how that works?
The speed limit here in the city is 30 miles an hour, which means everyone goes about 38.
At least
38, 40.
At least 38.
So when we go home to Marshfield and it's 25 miles an hour,
I feel like I'm hardly moving.
Yes, and I find myself all of a sudden I'm
and
up
everybody else is following the speed limit, and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you people? You are terrible. When I'm really the terrible one.
When you're the one.
Isaac said, I hit a deer last fall and felt really bad. I wish I could help wish I could have helped the deer. And then I thought about venison and got hungry.
Good.
From Atlantic to Pacific. It's terrific.
Gee, the traffic.
From Atlantic to
is
Pacific.
terrific.
Gee,
Oh, there's no
place
like
home for the holidays. We got it.
Good job. I like that.
Nice one, Greg.
Nice reference, Greg.
So yeah, there you go. That's traffic in Chicago. We try not to deal with it, but even when we're not dealing with it, we're still dealing with it.
You gotta go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I gotta cross Michigan every morning when I go to work. I have to cross Michigan Avenue.
Yeah. On foot.
On foot, and these cars have been waiting in traffic forever. And when the light turns red, you have like 3 or 4 more cars just go through. They're like, no, I made it. I definitely made it. You have like the 4th car going, like following the 3rd one. Yep. They're like, no, I definitely made that one too. We're all a team.
We all got this.
Yeah.
We all got this. Because if we just keep coming, no one else can drive forward. They're not going to take on our vehicle. Is what they're thinking.
Right. Exactly.
Greg says,
ride share with
us your worst traffic experience.
Hi, Reed. Share with us your worst traffic experience.
Or your best traffic experience
ever. Thanks for watching, Reed. Yeah, Reed, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Greg was pumping the show up before the episode, so appreciate that, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Part of the Coffee with Keith and Katie team, Greg and Dave show,
and
Isaac,
and Dave show, and Isaac.
So that's the bulk of our show. That was the topic. You've heard about our traffic stories. What are your traffic stories? Share them, comment, like the page, and check out the Greg and Dave show.
Yeah.
With the Greg and Dave show. Greg says Marshfield, home of the best Mexican restaurant ever. Marshfield? Which one?
What's the name of that? Starts with an E. Starts with an E, doesn't it? It's by Applebee's. It used to be downtown. Listen to me, I sound so old.
Oh, that's right.
You know when your grandparents were like, she used to be a Whitaker, but now she married a Gorse.
These used to be all orange groves. That's where I went and bought nickel candy. Anyways. It is time for
your favorite.
Best part of the show.
The men's favorite.
It's called NBA or NFL. NFL or NBA.
Humiliate Katie. What is the show rated? You have to be careful asking people what their best traffic experience. Oh no, Isaac. I just got that. Keith doesn't get it yet.
Oh, I get it now. I like it.
My parents are watching.
Good job,
show,
Isaac. Isaac, you've been spot on today, man. Dropping Friday quotes and everything. I love it. NFL or NBA? The NBA draft is coming up on Thursday. That's why I have this little basketball.
Tell them about this ball. How old is this ball?
This ball is probably about as old as I am.
Yeah.
I've had this ball. Like, there are pretty early pictures of me as a really little baby with this ball. This might even be older than me. It might have been my brother's. I don't know. But this is stuffed basketball, and I've always had it, and I like it a lot. So it's kind of my stuffed animal. I like this basketball.
Mr. Fuzzy Face enjoys it as well.
Yep, Mr. Fuzzy Face.
He likes to pick it up and carry it.
Mr. Fuzzy Face, or the South African didgeridoo named Miko.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We keep getting distracted.
Yep.
El Mezcal!
El Mezcal. Got it. We went out to eat. We ate there a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Ate there once or twice. Yeah. Alright, so speaking of basketball, Katie.
Were you 57 as a baby? I can't imagine you ever being small. Or were you 5'7"?
I was 5'7"
as a baby.
I was smaller than that. Taller than 5'7" now, though. Big man.
Alright, let's have it, Keith. Let's have these names.
Taylor Lewan.
Taylor what?
Lewan. Taylor Lewan.
That is NBA.
Wrong. NFL.
I really thought since you started talking about NBA draft, it'd be...
I know you did.
That's why you did it, huh? Look at this. Look at this smug smirk on his face.
Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, NBA.
NFL.
Oh no! Who's the ball person?
You're talking about the Ball family, LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball's the dad. Lonzo Ball is the son. Lonzo, Le'Veon Bell Ball. I can see that. I can definitely. That's one of the more understandable mix-ups Katie's ever had. I like that one. And Earl Thomas.
Now, I'm afraid you're going to trick me here. Earl Thomas sounds like a solid name. Like, not a tall basketball name. It sounds like a solid linebacker name.
Okay.
So I'm going to go NFL.
NFL is correct.
Yes, I got one!
We did all NFLs
3!
this week. What do they all have in common? It has nothing to do with their position or their college or their team. What do they all have in common?
Tell me again. Earl Thomas.
Le'Veon Bell. And Taylor Lewan.
They're all American.
They're all American?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like Pro Bowl, or like they're all Americans?
They're all American citizens.
Well, sure, yeah. That's right.
Yay! I got it!
They're all holding out right now. It's like the NFL offseason, has like really officially begun, and the teams are holding their mandatory, workouts and mini camps, and those three players are all currently holding out for more money.
Is Earl Thomas who you talked about on...
Yeah, it is.
On the Cheap Seats last week?
Yeah, we were talking about Earl Thomas. And
I do listen.
I know you do. I know you do.
I just don't retain any information.
It's like people say, my daughter and my son are good students. They're just bad test takers. It's like, you mean the one time where you're supposed to tell everybody what you know without looking at the answers, you don't do well?
Yep.
I'm just saying, it's kind of funny.
I think there are some people who have legitimate issues.
Yeah, there are.
I think there are some people whose parents are insane.
But I always found it funny. He's a good student, he's just a bad test taker. It's like, alright, well, anybody can be a good student when they're sitting in class and the answers are in front of them. To be completely honest, I was not the greatest test taker either. But, hey, somehow I made it this far.
You did. Isaac says, I bet your guys' show is extremely fun during football season. That's the most fun. I think football season is the most fun.
Football season is
for our little games.
I think football season is the greatest season because it's part of the greatest season. Fall, autumn, greatest season, greatest weather. You gotta love those. I'm just thinking about it now. You gotta love those. 55-degree, crisp, cool weather, jeans and a hoodie.
I can't think about a hoodie right now.
Leaves crushing beneath your feet.
It's 95 degrees, 50% humidity. We have a window unit air conditioner.
Yep.
It's not doing a lot.
We have the window unit on. We have the fan buzzing.
We have both fans on.
Everything. Greg says, to end it off, Keith, what's worse, Chicago driving or the Kansas City Royals bullpen?
Oh!
I like that.
Oh!
It's a good one.
I would say it'd be the Dodgers depth chart.
The Dodgers depth chart. Katie's just going baseball crazy now. Not even the Kansas City. She's going nationally.
I wanted to watch Clayton Kershaw pitch this week. The Dodgers are in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So I looked at the rotation to see if he'd be up. They have 3 pitchers on their depth chart.
3.
For non-baseball people, you're supposed to have 5. There should be 5. The Cubs have done 6.
3.
The Dodgers have 3.
So there you go.
Baseball expert right here.
I'm gonna say Chicago driving, Greg, because I have yet to get hit by a pitch by the Kansas City Royals bullpen.
Oh, very good, Keith.
That's my final answer. This has been Coffee with Keith
and Katie on Public House Media.
Check them out at phmedia.com, where you can find our cool mugs and other products from other great shows as well. Everybody have a great week, and we will see you for more coffee on Thursday at 7:30, as always, with my best friend Katie. Everybody have a great week.